Hi, welcome to RCOS. Is anyone here not here for RCOS? Okay, so we're good. So I'm Colin Rice. I guess I'm the lead mentor. I'm self-appointed. I haven't been overthrown yet, so that's my only authority. I've been doing this for about 2 years. I'm interested in cryptocurrencies and systems engineering right now, and I have good stories about the Russian mob. So this is the introduction presentation. We're going to start with a bit about why RCOS is awesome, and then we're going to roll into how everything is changing, logistics, and questions. So RCOS is awesome. I like it a lot. That's why I'm up here doing this. I actually hate doing presentations and talking to people. But it's a lot of fun. And there's a couple reasons it's sort of awesome. You know, this is your chance to go do something that you like and have other people make you do it. Like, we're not going to be beating you or something. But we will be there to talk to you about it. We'll want to see what's going on every week. So this is really a chance to like choose something that you want to learn and just go do it. And you get paid and there's credit and other people doing the same things. So the first part of this is you should do something that you enjoy, right? You don't have to be in love with this, but if you hate your project, you chose the wrong project. You should change, right? I enjoy my stuff. I assume David enjoys his stuff.
I definitely enjoy my stuff.
Right, and so that's what you should do if you really want to get the most out of RCOS, is do something that you like. And I have violated this principle once, and I'm sure other people have too and regret it. So is everyone going to do something that they enjoy? Head nod, someone say yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The second part of this is if you discover that you hate what you're doing, or you dislike it, or you haven't done it for 3 weeks because you don't want to look at the code base anymore, or you have a new idea, you're free to switch projects. The URP forums, you actually have to write down what project you're doing, but we don't care if you switch to the middle of the semester. Some of the really cool projects have showed up 3 months into the semester, and people just switch to them. So feel free to switch projects. So how many people here have done RCOS before? Okay, better question, who hasn't? Who's new? Oh wow, so that's like a 50-50 split. Ooh, wasn't expecting that. So for everyone who's done this before, you have no idea what's going on. You're restructuring everything. This was mostly decided on the meeting yesterday that like 6 people showed up at. So if you all hate it, there's an option for revolution at the end of the slide deck. So we're switching to 2 meetings per week. The Tuesday meeting are going to be small meetings. So we're going to break people up into like 10 or 15 people with a couple mentors and like disperse. So this way, everyone can do a presentation like every 2 to 3 weeks. And mentors can actually figure out what's going on, and you know who your mentor is, and you know the names of everyone else you're talking to in the room. We hope this will work out better, because honestly, there's a ridiculous number of people in the room right now, and I know about like 10 names. But Friday, we're going to stick with these big meetings. We'll pluck some people from like the Tuesday presentations to speak Friday. That'll also be where we shove outside people who want to speak. Everyone understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, I'll go over how this is actually going to schedule out a little later. Oh no, right here. So this week, so today we're doing this presentation. Friday, we're going to also meet here, and we're going to clump into groups. If you don't have a project, that'll also be like the time to figure out what you're doing. So this way we can actually like do all the logistics when there's 20 mentors in the room to help figure out where people are going. So that's all we'll be doing this Friday. Show up here, we'll figure out where our groups are and where they're going to meet, and then we'll disappear. Next Tuesday, we'll actually start the small group meeting. We'll email like who's in what group and the locations to the list. So if you forgot from Friday to Tuesday, you're covered. And then next Friday, it'll be a big group meeting here, and then we'll just roll like that with small meetings on Tuesday, big meetings on Friday. Does everyone understand what's going on? Yes. Is anyone really confused and wants me to re-explain this? Okay. You can also come talk to me after this meeting. I love to talk. I never shut up. So we also decided that there's going to be a very small amount of accountability this year. Turns out we can give you grades, and we can stop your pay. So if you're doing this for pay, what we decided was somewhat fair is if you miss 2 weeks in a row, we're going to like stop your pay and send you an email and ask if you got hit by a bus. If you did get hit by a bus, we're humans, so you should tell us so we can like bring you flowers to the hospital and everyone can feel sorry for you. If you're doing this for grades, the easy thing to measure is attendance. That's also why we're doing the previous one like that. So if you miss 3 weeks, it's going to be a B. 4 weeks C, 5 weeks D. Greater than 6 weeks means you literally showed up to like half the meetings, so you get an F. We think this is fair. Again, for extenuating circumstances, bug us. Also, because people wanted this, like if you want to do weekend events, and like something happens during the week, you're totally fine to like show up at whatever event Bullshit has emailed us about, and then we'll like swap the attendance, right? We're not cruel bastards. I wasn't supposed to swear, I didn't say that. But so that's how this is gonna work. Does everyone understand this and think it's somewhat fair and not overbearing?
Question, how do number of weeks work if there's 2 meetings per week?
So a week is 2 meetings?
Okay. Sure.
That's
I
how
I just want to make sure, like, if you miss one,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you miss the Tuesday meetings, we're going to be much more annoyed than if you miss the Friday meetings. We were going to try and do attendance at both. So that's how we're going to do it. We'll see how it works.
Are we going to do the card signings or just scan?
We're going to do card sign-ins on Friday, and Tuesday, the mentors should know everyone in the group, so if someone's not there, they'll just tell me. We think that'll work. If it doesn't work, we'll buy a bunch more card scanners. Any other questions? Okay. So, we also decided that we need to actually have some policies on time limits. We think the sweet spot is like 15 minutes of presentation and then 5 minutes of questions. And by we, I mean I, 2 hours ago when I wrote this presentation. Does that seem good to everyone? No one's saying yes, no one's saying no. Honestly, if it's an RCOS presentation, we're not going to really enforce this that much. But for outside presentations, what we're going to try and do is outside technical talks, we're going to try and sort of match them to the time of RCOS presentations. And I will probably cut people off if it's getting painful. And then for outside non-technical talks, like people showing up for their projects, we're going to give them like, trying to give them like 5 minutes. Because often we've had those that they just don't know when to stop and they get really, really long. Also, whoever's speaking today, I'm not going to yell at you about this because you had no idea about this until right now. I also can't spot you, so. So that's that. Everyone thinks this is fair. No one's going to be vastly surprised if I cut you off. Well, I won't cut you guys off, but no one will be vastly surprised if I cut someone else off. Okay. So how this actually works is this is all involves RPI, so you've got to do a bunch of paperwork. So there's this thing called a URP form. That green text is a link. I will email these slides out. We'll probably also email you these instructions in an email as well. Everyone here knows about the RCOS Google group, right? Okay.
You should probably write that down.
Yeah. Yeah, you should write down the email address for that. There's a Google group. That's where all the emails get sent to. Everything else might be wrong, but the latest email in the Google group is probably the least wrong. Actually, I think my computer just ran out of battery. It's okay. This is an example of what. No.
What is the Google group?
I don't know. You should look it up. This is an example of what not to do. Yeah.
I know what it is.
Okay.
To get on the Google group, if you go to Google Groups and just do a search within that for RCOS and RPI, you'll definitely find it. Add yourself
It's
today.
called RCOS at Rensselaer at googlegroups.com, but I don't know where the dashes and periods and capitals
It's
are.
RCOS-at-Rensselaer. Do you know how to spell Rensselaer?
Yes.
So it's very long, so you can search for it, RCOS, RPI. Definitely add yourself today if you're not on there, because that is kind of the most up-to-date information, announcements, what you need to do to get, meet these deadlines and so on. So.
Also, if you're not signed up on SIS, do that like now.
Yes.
Especially if you have like a phone and SIS on your phone.
So going back to what the slide was supposed to be about, which is how you get paid. So there's a URP form. The link's here. We'll email it to the group. You fill it out. If you want to do it for credit, you fill it out for credit, and then you go give it to Goldschmidt. If you want to do it for pay, you fill it out for pay, give it to Goldschmidt. If you don't know how to fill out a field, or it seems like it's like a professor's field or something, don't fill it out.
Isn't there also like a W-4 and a full
Yeah.
uniform?
So if you're doing it for pay, because we're in the United States, you have to prove that you're allowed to work in the United States. So if you've never worked for RPI before, you're going to have to do an I-9. And RPI will, in fact, send you a W-4 when tax season comes around, or a W-2, something like that. So any questions about what you have to do?
I think for either one, there's 2 forms. There's URP and there's a for you or something. I remember it's just opening.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a for you as well.
There is one more form. So regardless of what you're doing, all of you will fill out a URP, which is, the link will be floating around. It's a PDF fill in the blank now, I believe. So you fill in, based on the instructions, all the information, print it out. It should not be handwritten except for signatures. So everyone will do that. If you're working on a team, which most of you will be, each team member needs to fill one out. You can attach the same one-page proposal. to that form. But if you're doing it for credit, it does need to be an independent study form as well, which is through the registrar's office. And I think it is Form 4U or something like that, right on the registrar's site.
Also, if you go to the registrar's office, it's on the right-hand wall.
Yeah, so if you want to just grab the paper, right-hand wall down the Bursar's registrar's office, or that way, in Academy Hall.
And to be clear, the deadline is February 3rd, so that's the Monday after next Monday. So do your forms. If you miss the deadline, I'm just going to call you an idiot if you were in this room. So deadline is February 3rd. Don't miss it. Everyone understand that? Okay. So the small groups, there's actually a bunch of people who are mentors. So can I get all the mentors to just stand up? This is just like a quick look. We're not going to force you to come down here or anything. Okay. A bunch of people are standing up. So everyone who's going to not graduate, everyone who's graduating, sit down. Wait, you're not graduating, Kevin?
No, I have another semester.
Oh, okay. We have a bunch, but we need more because about half of them are graduating. So if you're interested to be a mentor, and you've done this a couple of times, and/or you just think you're awesome and you can do it, come talk to us. So that's the end of the presentation. So we're going to do what we do at the end of every RCOS presentation, which is thank the people who made this possible. So Sean O'Sullivan donated a large sum of money. He's also a very cool guy. So he sort of provides all the money that pays you guys. Professor Morthy originally ran this, is now a sabbatical, and may still run parts of it, never really sure. Goldschmidt runs everything that Morthy doesn't run right now. And everyone who showed up at the meeting on Monday to figure out what I was saying today, thank you for showing up. And thank all of you guys for sitting here listening to me and being willing to do RCOS. So now, are there any questions?
So for signing up on SIS, do you only have to do that if you're doing it with credit?
Nope.
You should do that.
You sign up on SAS so that we get this room,
Okay, so
and we know that you're in RCOS.
You should write this here on the board.
Yeah.
It's a 0 credit course.
57324.
324.
Yeah, so sign up for that if you haven't already. And it is a 0 credit NG or non-graded part. So it's just to make sure we know, which room we're going to get allocated, and also so we have a roster list that we can go from. So definitely register for that if you haven't already.
Any other questions? Any other comments? Okay, so that's it for this presentation.
I'm going to talk about Friday just a little bit more.
Okay.
So what's going to happen is we have like 15, 20 mentors, something like that. They're all going to group up into like 5 or 6 subgroups. And each with like a general focus, but that's not really important. You have to have a mentor group. So you have to attach to exactly one set of mentors. And so when you come here on Friday, if you want to run your own project, or you know which project you're doing, like know what your project is, who you're working with. That way, Friday is going to be a logistical mess. So the more you know coming in, the less messy it's going to be. And then if you have no idea what project you want to work on, you don't even know like what you're allowed to do, then come on Friday knowing that we'll deal with you.
We'll deal with you nicely.
Nicely, yeah. And do we have a list of projects online somewhere?
Yes, but it's completely out of date.
Okay, so maybe we should clear that list and start over?
That's what we're gonna do as soon as I do it, but I spent all of last night fixing the website because someone broke it.
Right.
But yes, I will do that.
And we're going to email that as soon, probably today, to the Google group email. So if you have a project, make sure you put your project on the project list. And if you don't have a project, look through the project list and maybe find a good starting place. You can always switch later, so don't be afraid to commit now. Okay.
All right, that's it. So the registrars, or you want to do the introduction?
Yeah,
Cool.